Yo, so this is a really good day to show what I'm going through right now. 2020, this is January, and the guy that I was partnering with, no longer partnering with him anymore. So he took some of the leads that we have and some of the systems that we have. So I'm getting my systems back, creating some new accounts for myself. The caller that I had last year, he's no longer with us as well. So it's back to just me and my VA. And I'm getting my VA to do some of this data management things already. But I've got to make a system for her to kind of handle a little bit more. I don't like making the calls anymore, but I got to because I don't have anybody in front as a lead manager. So I've got to go do that. And I'm sitting here in my car like, man, I got to go do this stuff. And not saying that it's the funnest thing in the world, but you got to do what you got to do. I have to adjust, got to pivot because we're not partnering with the guy anymore. So the only thing I really have that's giving me a ton of confidence right now is just my contracts. So just looking at these contracts, like I've got 4 in here. I've got to get one of these contracts filled out by a seller today. That's the goal. So I've got 2 houses that I did some driving for dollars for in December 2019. And I've been trying to locate and call the sellers, and they're not available. But I looked them up, found out where their home address is. They're about 30 minutes away from me. So today, January 6th, 2020, I'm gonna go drive to this seller's house, see if they want to sell this abandoned house that I saw. So, you know, it's going to be tough sometimes, and but I want to document myself, so whenever this gets posted, I can go back and look at this and say, hey, do you remember that time whenever you had a tough day? Freedom, do you remember that time whenever your business, you know, basically shut down and you had to start all over from ground zero? Do you remember that? What did you do? So this is my little personal video vlog diary to myself. All I've got is these contracts, and I got to go get them filled out. The positive side, even though that is the reality, the positive side is that I have a skill set to always produce money, which is the ability to go find discounted properties. I'm also a realtor, so if things ever get super bad, I can put that realtor hat on and show some prospects some new houses to buy. So I'm not giving up. I think the toughest thing about it is recognizing what season that I'm in right now. So January in 2019, I had my 3rd child. So by that point, my 3-year-old and my 1-year-old, 10-month-old, and juggling those 2, very, very tough, because I've never ever had 2 children, 2 babies at the same time. That same year, which is like, I think my wife, 20 years retired, she retires a year earlier. So we had a year that we wanted to plan out to create the savings, and we didn't, because they retired her a year earlier. So my wife is deciding, should she go to school or should I go back to work? And we're still in that deciding season. She says she's leaning towards, you know, her going to school, me continuing to hunt out here, but if need be, go to work, because I don't want our livelihood to be threatened. So I just wanted to show this and be like, you know, every day, it's not like we get deals after deals after deals. Sometimes, you know, whenever life happens, you have to be able to adjust and pivot, and that's what I'm doing right now. So the seller is gone. The caller is gone. The partner is gone. What do you do? What do I do? Well, I minimize my costs with my business. I don't have the office that I had anymore, so I'm working out of the car, out of the house, at libraries, at Starbucks, friends that I know who have offices, I'm working there. Friends who I know got big houses, I'm working at their houses as well. I'm not making, somebody's not making the calls anymore for me, so I got to make the calls. I'm not paying for a list right now, just all the lists that I paid for last year. I'm just still following up, trying to dig some gold out of those deals, out of those leads, see what I can get. I'm using my realtor hat right now, posting and marketing for people who want to go buy a brand new home. So I'm doing everything I can in my power to create some opportunities for myself so I can feed my family. I'm also, January 2020, about $21,000 in debt. And the season that we're in is we want to create savings. 2019, 80% of our checks went to our debt. And so we lowered our debt, but we didn't have a lot of savings. But right now, because my wife is retiring a year earlier, most of the money is going towards the savings, so we can get 6 months of savings. So I do have a closing on a house in like a week. I got a $500,000 listing that I won't even be listing until July 2020, and this is January 2020. So what I do within the gaps, and that's where I got my contracts, try to go get some of these sellers to sign some contracts, negotiate. And the lesson here is I'm not coming to these sellers with my problems, right? I'm here to solve their problems. So if I come to them like, hey, yeah, I really need you to sign this, it's not gonna work. So these people have some problems. These are abandoned homes. I wanna go solve them. So I'm still having a strong mindset. I just wanted to show myself what it looks like whenever you're in the middle, the messy middle, whenever things happen and you gotta adjust, what do you do? So come take a drive with me as I go see this first seller. All right, guys, so I just went to go see the first guy that I wanted to go talk to today. Luckily, he was at the house. Talked to him. I was trying to record it, but he was right next to me, and I couldn't find my voice recorder part. But the conversation was decent. He said he is wanting to sell. He actually wants to sell this month, which is January 2020. He said he does have 2 other people who are interested. He wants to give the first person a look in the house. So what I told him is like, hey man, I'm gonna write up an offer and just follow up with you. So I told him I'm gonna give him about 2 weeks, which actually I'm probably gonna give it about 10 days, and just write up an offer and just keep following up with the guy. But you know, I'm encouraged because I went out and hunted and at least got some momentum with talking with someone. So that feels good, even though the situation is for 2020. You know, we're in a pivot stage right now, different season. But I'm still encouraged, man. I'm still encouraged. So it was 30 minutes away. So I'm driving back to the main city now, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But I think that's the lesson to be learned right there, man, is I got to recognize my value and know that I can produce income with my skill set, and I can solve problems with my skill set as well. So I'm just in the business of solving problems. So the guy was really nice, and when I was walking to the house, he opened the door and was like, we don't allow solicitors. I'm like, hey, I'm not soliciting anything. I'm actually looking to buy something. So we had about a 15-minute conversation, and he said the condition of it is pretty bad. Trees fell out on it. The electric is out as well. So just from doing my due diligence on the house, I like to give him an offer about $92,000, and we'll see if that works. So I am going to head back to the office, write this contract up. I'm going to mail it to him. He did not want to give me his phone number, but I know where he lives, so I'll just check in on him again. So other than that, man, that's good. It's good. So on to the next one. All right.